Hi, I want to bring you a quick message today on a title that I've given it, and it's just simply Restoration After Devastation. I believe that many in today's time and hour are feeling as though there's a devastation going on in their own personal lives or the lives of their friends. It's hard to know from one household to the other without someone being affected by the economy or the health or other issues that are driven by all of the virus things going on right now. And it's worldwide. It's not just in my neighborhood or someone else's. But I was reading the scriptures this week, and I saw this, and I thought, why, that sounds like this time, like the time we're in. And we serve the same God. And so what he did then, he'll do now. And so I want to read this today and let it be a word of encouragement to you, especially if you are one of those that have been hard hit by the situations that are going on, the circumstances, whether it be a health issue or a financial issue. Many have been affected financially as well as by the health issues. And so in 2 Kings chapter 8, I'm going to read the first 6 verses. We're going to talk about Elisha and a woman who had a son. The son had died, and Elisha had prayed for that son, and the son had risen back to life. And so we're going to pick up there in 2 Kings chapter 8, New King James Version, beginning in verse 1. Then Elisha spoke to the woman whose son he had restored to life, saying, Arise and go, you and your household, and stay wherever you can. For the Lord has called for a famine. Furthermore, it will come upon the land for 7 years. So the woman arose and did according to the saying of the man of God. And she went with her household and dwelt in the land of the Philistines 7 years. It came to pass at the end of the 7 years that the woman returned from the land of the Philistines, and she went to make an appeal to the king for her house and for her land. We'll stop there for a second. Elisha had told this woman, for her protection, stop doing what you're doing, leave your land, go somewhere else for this duration of the famine. You know, the government and others, for our safety, have told us to do shelter in place until they see that the coast is clear, or so they hope. Elijah said, go wherever you can and stay in place there. And she went to the Philistines, and she stayed there 7 years. Now the 7 years has ended, and it's been reported that they can come back. So she comes back, but you see, in that 7 years, I'm certain this woman who had been wealthy, I'm certain that she wondered within her own spirit many times in that period of 7 years, will I get anything back? Will my land be my land? I did leave. Will I how will I make it off of my land? If I don't have land, where will I stay? What will I do? But I want to go home. I want to go back to my life. How many of you have said that recently? I want to go back to my life. I'm certain that that's what she wanted to do, go back to my life. So she goes into the king's office, and I'm certain he had a department where they could appeal. Haven't we had a lot of departments governmentally? And if you go on the computer, you'll find a department even. And so I have a feeling she was in one of those departments. But let's pick up in verse 4. Then the king talked with Gehazi, the servant of the man of God. Now Gehazi was the servant of Elisha. saying, "Tell me, please, all the great things that Elisha has done." So the king he wants to ask Gehazi, "Tell me everything about Elisha and all the great things that he's done." So I can see Gehazi and the king, they're sitting having a good conversation. And he's telling him all the miracles. Why, he's even telling the king, well, there was this little boy and he was dead. And Elisha comes in and raises him from the dead. And the king he's so interested. And then in verse 5, now it happened as he was telling the king how he had restored the dead to life, that there was the woman whose son had been restored to life, appealing to the king for her house and for her land. And Gehazi said, "My lord, O king, this is the woman, and this is her son whom Elijah restored to life." And when the king asked the woman, she told him. So the king appointed a certain officer for her, saying, "Restore all that was hers and all the proceeds of the field from the day that she left the land until now." Restore all that was hers from the day that she left 7 years ago until now. God set that up. God set that up. You see, the king and Gehazi had a conversation at a very opportune moment, wouldn't you say? When the woman, and see, God doesn't do accidents. He doesn't do coincidence. No, he sets things up for our benefit. He said he has plans to bless us. If you have been one of those who have lost your job, or your pay has been drastically cut, and all the things that you're scrambling for right now, that you're trying to figure out, I hope that you'll take this today as a word of encouragement. Rest in it, knowing that God has got it. He's got his eye on you, and he does set up things to bless us. Please let that be a word of encouragement and blessing to you today. Now I want to ask a favor. If you've been watching our channel, would you subscribe? Would you watch, share, tell others? See, God told me to start this ministry, but it won't go anywhere without you. I need you to help make it happen. So share, tell, like, and we made it as a community. Please leave comments. We would really appreciate it. God bless you.